Now, welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. So, today we will going to discuss a few things on VBT and CFT together. Now, look at one example. In this case, you have COCN6 4 negative and COCN6 3 negative. So, in one case, it is hexacyanidocobaltate 2, and in the second case it is hexacyanidocobaltate 3 ion in both the cases. Now in one case it is weakly paramagnetic, in second case it is diamagnetic. What is the reason behind that? And one thing more you have to understand, that in this case it is sp3d2, but in this case it is d2sp3. So in case of CO3 plus, 3d orbitals are used for bonding, while in case of CO2 plus, cobalt 2 plus, 4d orbitals are used for bonding. What is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is the configuration. Remember that whenever you have cobalt 2 plus cation as present there, it is always able to form outer orbital octahedral whatsoever the nature. Outer orbital octahedral in all the cases. Are you getting that or not? In all the cases it will give you what? Outer orbital octahedral, while here it will do what? Inner orbital octahedral complex. Look at that, why it happens. Now cyanide is a strong ligand, so it means here the charge on the cation dominates over anything else. Now in this case cobalt 2 plus is 3d7. Actually cobalt configuration is 3d7 4s2, so these two electrons are lost and it becomes cobalt 2 plus cation. So look at the cobalt 2 plus cation now here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what will happen here now? That you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So there are 7 electrons present in what? Present in the cobalt 2 plus cation. 4s orbital and 4p orbitals are empty, whereas 4d is also empty. So you have what? You have 4p and you have 4s. So that's what you are able to get in this case. Okay, are you sure about that? So here what you are get now, CN is a strong ligand, so it can cause pairing of electrons. So when the electrons got paired up, what it will get? So now pairing of electron would take place. Okay, so pairing of electron would take place like that. That now you have but still now this orbital is only available vacant. So it can give you dsp2 or can give you dsp3, but it can't give you what? It can't give you d2 inner orbital. Why? Because the other d orbital is not vacant. So what you will have now, you have only one choice. What is that? That 4s and 4p are available here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what will happen here in this case? That now you have 6 CN here, and this CN will give lone pair S, P and 2D. So the configuration is sp3d2. Here the electron goes to 4s, 4p and 4d. Electron goes to where? 4s, 4p and 4d orbitals, like that. Are you getting that in your mind now? Sure. Now here what will happen? It will first get excited. It will get excited and then it will split into two parts. So lower level is T2G level. The higher level is EG level. This is called barycenter. I told you already. Okay. So what will happen here? CFSC is greater than the pairing energy. So electron will get paired up. So electron will get paired up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now since now these two orbitals should be present here vacant. Two orbitals should be present vacant, but here they are not available. The two orbitals are not available here but free. So what will happen here in this case? Okay, the ligand electron will go to the outer orbital 4d. Look at that now. So in this case you can say that 4d orbitals are being used. And one electron is unpaired. So one unpaired electron will give you what? It will give you weak paramagnetic behavior. Will give you what? Weak paramagnetic behavior. Now here also you have one unpaired electron. So according to the formula, one electron you put there. So root Bohr magneto is the magnetic moment in this case. Are you getting that? Now it indicates that CO2 plus ion always form outer orbital octahedral. So it does not depend upon the nature of the ligand. Okay, the nature of ligand may decide its magnetic moment, but the nature of the ligand will not decide its hybridization. Are you getting me? What I mean to say that if in place of Cn negative, if you take fluoride ion, then pairing will not take place. And if pairing will not place, in that case, there will be two unpaired electrons. So magnetic moment will be slightly higher. But whether it is a strong ligand or weak ligand, in each and every case, cobalt 2 plus ion always forms outer orbital octahedral. Now consider the next case, that is the hexacyanide cobaltate 3. Now cobalt has configuration 3d7 4s2. Now if you remove 3 electron, it becomes 3d6. Now you know that Cn is a strong ligand. So it causes high splitting and pairing of electron. So what will happen here now? That is 3D level. So in case of 3D, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and there is 6 electrons. So 4s and 4p, they are now vacant here. Now what will happen now next? In the next case, due to splitting of the orbitals, pairing will happen. So these two orbitals now vacant, and now when these two orbitals are vacant, so 4s and 4p are also vacant. So what can happen here? Now 6 cyanide anion will come and give their lone pair to these vacant orbitals. Now you got D2 sp3 geometry. Now you get what? D2 sp3 geometry. So when you get D2 sp3 geometry, what you are able to do now? You are able to do inner octahedral orbitals, and in that case what will happen? In that case you will have all the electrons are paired up, and what does happen? So it is diamagnetic in nature. Look at here now. This is 5d orbitals which are degenerative in nature. They get excited, and after that what will happen? Splitting will happen. A large splitting will happen because of the cyanide is a strong ligand, and also cobalt carry high positive charge. So that is T2G level, that is EG level, that is Berry center. Okay, so here what happens? The CFSC value is greater than what? Is greater than the pairing energy. So what will happen? Here you will get pairing of electron. So all 6 electrons get paired up here. So these 2 orbitals remains vacant, and now they are in a position to accept lone pair of electron given by the ligand. So what is the case now? So it is a inner orbital octahedral. So it means that cobalt 3 plus ion will form what will form? Inner orbital octahedral with strong ligand. So this is very, very important question, that cobalt 2 plus will always give you outer orbital, and cobalt 3 plus will always give you inner orbital with strong ligands. So cobalt 3 plus can also give you outer orbital with weak ligand like fluoride or chloride or water like that. Okay, in most of the cases cobalt 3 plus will give you what? Cobalt 3 plus will give you inner orbital octahedral with all the strong ligands. Are you sure? Okay, let us suppose you have COF6 3 negative. Now in this case F negative is a weak ligand. It cannot cause pairing of electron. So in this case what can happen? In that case also, this is 4s, this is 4p, and this is 4d. So in this case also pairing of electron won't take place. It is d6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. Now in this case cobalt has 4 electron unpaired. 4 electron as unpaired. And what will you have? You have 6 as the 6 orbital as the ligands here. So first ligand, then you have 4p, and then you have 2d orbitals. So in this case it is sp3d2, that is 6 into fluoride anion. So these things have to be understood, that here in this case it is n plus 2 Bohr-Magneto. So answer will be 4 into 4 plus 2, that is 24 Bohr-Magneto, root 2 or 24 Bohr-Magneto. Are you getting that in your mind or not? Sure about that? Now you will consider the case of hexafluorido hexafluoridoferrate two, and second case is bis ethane 1,2 diamine difluorido iron 2. So if you check that in both the cases, iron in +2 state, Now everyone knows that iron is what? Iron is 3d6 4s2. That's why it is 3d6 now. Okay. So if you look at the first case, that is, and this is the second case. So first look at the first case. So in case of FeF6 4 negative, iron in +2 state, so it is 3d6. So this is 3d6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 electron as unpaired. Then you have 4s, then you have 4p, and then you have 4d. Okay, so you have how many? You have 3. How many you have? You have here 3d, 4s, 4p, and you have 4d. Now fluoride ion is a weak ligand. It is a weak ligand. If it is a weak ligand, it can't do what? Pairing of electron. So it can't do pairing of the electrons. So electrons remain here what? Electron here remain unpaired. So what will happen? 4s, 4p, and 4d orbitals are being used as what? They are being used as so this is 4s, that is 4d, this is okay. Now you have what? You have 6 fluoride anion as ligand. So what they will do? They will donate their lone pair to these orbitals. So what you have? You have sp3 p2, where 4 electrons are unpaired. 4 electrons are unpaired, and it is outer orbital octahedral. It is what? Outer orbital octahedral. Are you getting that in your mind now? So magnetic moment is equal to n plus 2 Bohr magneto. So put n here. So 4 into 4 plus 2. So it comes out to be under root 24 Bohr magneto. Now consider this case. Now here En is a bidentate neutral and strong ligand. So it will cause what? It will cause pairing of electrons. So what will happen here now? Here also 3d orbital has 6 electron as unpaired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what will happen here? En is a strong ligand. So what it will do? What? It will cause pairing of the electron. So what will happen here? Electron got paired up. So you have here 4s, you have here, and then you have the p orbitals which are present here. So what will happen in this case now? So you have how many? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 ligand. So not 6 ligand, actually there are 2 En ligand. So 2 En will give you 4. I will give the different color to the ligand. This is the electron given by En. Okay, and this is the electron given by, so 2 En are there and 2 fluoro ions are there. So what you are getting D2 sp3. Now in this case it is inner orbital octahedral. It is what? Inner orbital octahedral. Now in this inner orbital octahedral, what are you getting? You are getting diamagnetic behavior. You are getting what? Diamagnetic behavior. Consider it to the previous case where you are getting what? 4 electron as unpaired. Okay, here you are getting no electron paired, 0 electron as unpaired. So it is diamagnetic, and the previous case is highly paramagnetic. It all depends on configuration. Save in both the cases, configuration is Fe2+. It is 3d6. So nature of the ligand plays a very vital role. Okay, sure. Now look at it. Now according to the CFT, what will happen when the 5 orbitals will undergo splitting? That is EG level and that is T2G level. In case of En, CFSC is greater than the pairing energy. So pairing of electron will take place. Okay. But in case of what? In case of the fluoride anion, CFSC is less than pairing energy. So in case of what? In case of En, what will happen? In case of En, there is a pairing of electron happens. In case of so these orbitals can be used what? These orbitals can be used for what? These orbitals can be used for bonding. So it is inner orbital octahedral in this case, in case of En. Are you sure about that? I am repeating once more. The pairing of electron will happen here, and what will happen? The EG levels are now available for bonding. EG orbitals are available for bonding now. Now consider the case of fluoride ion. In fluoride ion, CFC is small, so no pairing will take place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is 6. So now here in this case pairing will not place. So these orbitals are not available for bonding when fluoride ion is. So what will happen? The outer 4d orbitals are used. Outer 4d orbitals are used in that now case. Take the case of FeCN4. Now in case of FeCN4, nickel exists in +2 state. That is 3d8. Okay. So now what will happen in this case? In this case, what can happen? Nickel exists in 3d state. So 1, 2, 3. Then you have 4s and then you have 4p. So what will happen now? These electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So these are the 3 orbitals are paired up. So others are not paired up. Now Cn is a very strong ligand, very strong ligand. If Cn is very strong ligand, it will cause pairing of electron. So what can happen now here? So here pairing of the electrons happen. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this orbital is now vacant. So what can do? 4 cyanide ion will come and will do bonding like that. So it is DsP2. Now it is not so much you can say easy to understand, but when we look at the CFT, so VBT approach is not so good here, but when we look at the CFT approach, it will give you more accurate answer. Now what will happen in case of cyanide? When cyanide is a very strong ligand, it can cause pairing of electron. Then actually what happens that two times splitting happens. First the splitting happens in an octahedral manner, and then the splitting will happen in a, you can say, to give you square planar complex. Look at that, what is happening. Now in case of this square planar complexes, the splitting happens in such a way that when the ligands are approaching towards the metal atom, then the metal will undergo splitting like an octahedral field. Now since the number of orbitals available are less in number and the charge is pretty much high due to the high nuclear charge on the metal ion, then what happens? The sum of the ligands along the z axis are being removed. When some of the ligands along the z axis are being removed, then the orbitals which have the z component, they becomes extra stable because they will now experience no repulsion from what? They will experience no repulsion from the ligands. So what will happen to the configuration? Now look at what will happen to the configuration. Now look at that. There are how many electrons are there? 3d 8. So 8 electrons are there. So here 8 electrons are given to you. 8 electron will filled up like that. Okay, these 8 electron will be filled up like that. Okay. So now what will happen here? Now in this case, now this orbital will remain vacant, and now this orbital, that is dx square minus y square, that is now what? That is now available from the electron pair denoted by the what? Denoted by the ligand. So by this way, what happens? By this way, so this is the best explanation for the square planar crystal field, which is not possible in case of VBT. CFT tells us more accurately that why a square planar complex has more stability, or you can say more splitting energy than the octahedral field. The reason being that in case of square planar complexes, the splitting happen 2 times, so energy release will be more than that of the octahedral species. Okay, sure about that or not? So we can come to a account that in case of tetrahedral complexes, it is less than the octahedral complexes, and it is less than the square planar complexes. Okay, sure. The CFSE value of octahedral complex is 9 by 4 times the tetrahedral complex, or you can say in tetrahedral complex the energy is 4 by times that of octahedral complex, and a square planar complex the energy is nearly 1.4 1 times that of the octahedral species. Are you getting that or not? Sure about that? So that's how you will find out. So it is 1.41 into 9 by 4 times tetrahedral also. Are you getting that in your mind now? So this is very, very important. You have to keep in your mind now. Now in case of tetramine copper to iron, the hybridization is sp2d. Now in this case what happens? The s orbital belongs to 4s, the 2p orbitals belongs to what? Belongs to the 4p, okay, and d belongs to the 4d. 3d orbital contains what? 3d orbital contains one electron unpaired. Okay, that is very unique combination, unique configuration. Now what do you mean by that here? Now copper in +2 state, I am repeating once more. In case of what? In case of the copper 2 plus ion, if the coordination number is 4, okay, its geometry can be either sp3 or sp2d or dsp2. dsp2 is ruled over because copper 2 plus ion never transform into copper 3 plus ion. Okay, so the geometry of dsp2 is ruled out due to the non-oxidation of copper 2 plus to copper 3 plus. So copper 2 plus is stable species and it also forms square planar complex. That complex has the sp2d hybridization rather than dsp2. I am repeating once more. dsp2 is not possible. dsp2 is not possible in case of copper 2 plus. In case of copper 2 plus. Okay, look at the scenario. Now here the copper exists in +2 state. So what is the +2 state? Now in case of copper 2 plus, it is 3d9. Now if you draw that configuration 3d9, what you will get? You will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay. Now this electron cannot be used. This electron cannot be used. If it goes outside and becomes like that, which is not possible. First I am writing which is not take place. That this electron will go there and the ligand will come like that. It becomes dsp2. Now that will not happen. That will not happen. Okay, that will not take place. Then what will take place? Okay, now in place of that you have 3d9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 3d9. Now you have 4s and now you have 4p and you have 4d. So what can happen now? These orbital, I am repeating once more, these two orbital and that d orbital, they will be used up by the ligand. and you have sp2d. So one is 4s, that is 4b, and that is 4d. Why? Because copper plus 2 can't become copper plus 3. Never possible. So if we go by the previous rule, if we go by this rule, then this electron can be given. Copper 2 plus can easily become copper 3 plus. That is not possible. That is not possible because copper exists in plus 2 state always. So is the right approach. Okay, because copper plus 2, by this way electron cannot be lost. Electron cannot be lost by this way. So then now you can't lose this electron. This electron will not be lost, and you have sp2d orbitals. So you can say that in case of tetraamine copper, the geometry is sp2d, distorted square planar. Why it is distorted? Due to the presence of one electron, odd electron. Are you getting that or not in your mind? The best figure that can be is called as tetragonal shape. It is called as a tetragonal shape.